Welcome, lovely being. You are in the right place if you are here for a pick a card reading. We are going to see open messages all about incoming wonderful life enhancements that are happening this year for you. Your golden chariot arrives. But before we proceed, I just want to let you know that my private sacred attunements are now available. It is such a pleasure to have you here with me as we are all evolving and changing. So, with that said, I want you to get ready, get set, let's go, because it is time to pick a Firehorse. Firehorse number 1. If you're feeling called to this Firehorse standing on hardened rock, then you're going to want to redirect to reading number 1. Perhaps you feel more called to this red crystal horse. If so, then you are going to want to redirect yourself to reading number 2. Or maybe it's this third horse, this dark brown horse with beautiful red flames for hair. If that's the case, then you are going to redirect yourself to reading number 3. Firehorse number 1, Firehorse number 2, and Firehorse number 3. Which calls to you most? Take a final moment to make your selection. All right, I think that gives you just about enough time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with somebody that you love. I will see you at your reading. Bye. All right, those of you who selected Firehorse number 1, welcome. I am Priestess Ishtah, and this is going to be open messages regarding grand enhancements to your life, and that's happening this year. So your golden chariot arrives. Let's see number 1's who, what, how your life is going to be enhancing. Okay, so treat this like a podcast. You can take notes. I do encourage you to do that. That is one of the best ways to attune your sacred energy to these messages so that it does not serve as just sheer entertainment. I do want you to leave here with something that feels attuned within you as well. All right, so let's take a deep breath. There's something about your energy, number 1. I'm going to move the mic a little bit closer. But there is something about your energy that feels very calm this year, despite the image of the horse that you have. And actually the horse that you picked, it is calm. It is a very calm looking horse because it looks like it has the fire, the potential, everything that is built up within the feelings that you might be possessing right now. Passion, drive, ambition, ready to take off. So this does feel like visibility planning, brand restructuring, and this is not even just for those of you who have businesses and careers that are artist based or entrepreneurial based. This is for also those of you who have a desire within your current roles. Maybe you want to update and spruce up your resume, or perhaps you want to transition from how you are viewed by your family members, your friends, being known as that one of the circle, and shift into another role. This does feel like a lot of role recognition that you have had recently and ready to change the visibility that you have been showing out into the world. So let's get some cards down. Already that feels like a very powerful message. It feels like a combination of a lot of things. One is pain and disappointment. One is setbacks. And it feels like the setbacks were because maybe you have let things slide for too long, or you've let people get away with too much, or you kind of have not been as hard or disciplined with yourself or on yourself as you should be, because you know how you are and you know what you need to get things done. And getting those things done does include, in a lot of ways, your ability to believe and also to trust in yourself. It doesn't seem like you have been doing that a lot recently. Or perhaps you have been doing that a lot recently, but in the past you were not. Okay? Correction. All right, so we have some cards down. We're going to do a few cards. Your first set of cards is the Patience card. You also have a card here that says Purity. We have two cards in reverse. We're going to acknowledge the message because I do feel like it is relevant here. So one of the card says Works and the other card says Sorceress. All right, so you can just set up those words in your mind. I'm going to talk you through the energy. One thing that I am immediately sensing for you, number one, is you have been patiently or over I want to say a amount of time, like a long amount of time. I'm hearing years, at least 4 years, months, but over some time, you have been putting a lot of energy in the reserve bank. So like I was saying, this is like a combination of fuel for the fire. Some of you were actually dealing with a pregnancy. So some were dealing with a more difficult one, not everyone, but I do see that you were doing motherhood. So a lot of your dreams and desires, that's where that deep-seated fire is. Okay, so some of you may have already had careers or had ambitions, but you chose to change your careers and ambitions to being a mother and a member of a growing family that can look like a spouse, a partner, etc. And it does seem like over time, as you've raised your children and been in this family dynamic, a lot of the things that you've wanted to do were not really accessible to you to achieve. Whether you had to step away from your business or step away from your career, step away from your education, there were things that were put in the back burner. In your heart right now, your heart desires that more than anything. If you've been crying a lot or felt tears in your throat locked up a lot, that is because your throat chakra, which is the chakra of professing, hence why we call it your profession, your throat chakra is ready to expand. Okay. And I have a lump in my throat as I speak, and I am not emotional right now at all. I'm actually enjoying this time with you, number one. So thank you for being here. So I feel that your throat wants to expand. It wants to profess, even if that profession starts with just writing things out. Like, I don't know where to begin. I've taken a break from this for so long. I don't know why anybody would want to hire me. I have no experience. I'm out of the game. Technology has changed so fast, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the excuses that you tell yourself, or, I don't fit into my old clothes anymore. I don't have the money right now to update my uniforms or all that stuff. Okay. You're being guided, I feel, and see if this aligns. I don't wish to plant seeds that are not already there, but I feel that you're being guided to express this through writing, express this through journaling, express this out through whatever activities are connected best to you when it comes to approaching throat chakra exercises. That's something very easy to look up. That will be your first homework assignment. Number one, look up what are throat chakra exercises that can help me with expression. Another thing that I'm seeing here is that you do have great creative works. Once this is able to get expressed out of you and from within you, there are creative works. That's why we had those two cards in reverse. I don't know if you recall me mentioning that. I'm sure you do. The first card in reverse was Works, and the other one was Sorceress. So there is something creating. There's a lot of clicking going on in your reading too. Especially when I say certain things that connect in my mind, that help me to understand the deeper insight of your message here. So it does feel that there is a lot of guides around you. There are a lot of guides. A lot of us walk with one primarily. One is a guardian. One might be your teacher. Some guides will swap in and out of your life. Use angels. Use whatever you want. This is not a religious-based channel. This is a universal station where all ideologies of spiritual and magical energy rules, because everything is one under the Supreme. No matter how we humans try to dissect, categorize, classify, and approach it, it's all one. So, click in the background. Oh, shade. So, what I see here is that there are great creative works that have already been channeled down into you. You don't need to get the idea. You don't need to figure out. I think you already have the idea. You've already birthed, not in the biological sense, but in the creative sense. You've already birthed this idea. It's already planted. This root is already there that's ready to spruce and sprout fruit to share with the world. There is something deeper happening here, number one. And those of you who are masculine and you're saying, well, I'm not feminine, so maybe that message is not for me. I didn't have but your partner may have had children, or you may have had a sibling. Like, there was a birth dynamic for many of you, male or female alike. Okay, so, and a lot of men gain the weight and go through a lot of the feelings that the women go through in their own, in their own expressed way. So, as you are a partnership, the energies are synastic. They're going to complement each other. All right. So moving forward from that, I just felt the need to clarify that for a second, so I didn't discourage any masculine listeners. Okay. Whatever gender you are, I'm talking about the energy that you connect to best. So when I am addressing here the energy works and the sorceress, there is something there's fruit already ready to kind of be bared on the tree. You are the tree, you are the branch, and the branch is in the hole, and the hole is in the ground, and the green grass is growing all around, and the green grass is growing all around. That's you, Firehorse number 1. And think about the number you picked, because it's not for nothing. It always relates to the message. You picked number 1. Number 1 requires a deep amount of initiation. Number 1 is Aries. Number 1 is the first archetypal energy descended, if we look at it through a mythological lens. It's the first archetype descended on Earth that allowed the other archetypes, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and then so on, to come through, all the way down to Pisces. So it takes a great amount of courage. If you know any Aries, it takes a great amount of boldness and also a vision, because didn't we say going into your reading that this is something about vision planning here for you? So it takes a lot of that. 11:11 right now on the timer as I'm recording this. There is something that has already come through to you. Number 1, it's there. It's in your heart. It's in your soul. It's in your belly. There's a fire in your belly. It's like a furnace, and with every breath, a little more comes up. Like an engine. All right, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the race of your lifetime. We have Firehorse number 1 ready to take off at the takeoff line. You're ready to take off. So let's see, what is the resistance? And actually, I do feel that this message is clearing the resistance. The resistance is within you. And this is the message that I heard: poor planning. I don't think you're planning well. I think you have more time now than you've had before. You have a little, even if it's like, I only have an hour. Okay. So what can you do with that hour? Because an hour can get a lot done. An hour can get a lot done. Stop playing. Okay. So yeah, 8 of Pentacles coming up and the 8 of Swords. You're holding yourself back from poor execution planning because you lack the full vision not full vision. That's not the right word, but you're lacking right now the ability to see like the path all the way down. And it's like, you're not going to get that. You just have to rev that engine once, rev it twice, get that needle moving, and the next thing you know, you're going to get your foot off the brake pedal, and the car is taking off. And once that car is taking off, baby, you got to steer them lanes. You got to steer them lanes, because your car is going 70, 110 miles per hour. You're a NASCAR, #1 Firehorse. So while that car is going, you know how to drive a car. You know who you are. You know what you're doing. You know what you're capable of. You know how smart you are. You know also what you don't know and where you can brush up. So you just need to get in the car, rev that engine, and take your foot off the brake. And this is not literal, y'all. Okay. This is in a symbolic, figurative meaning. All right. So that way you can go forward. Let's get a little bit more. Yeah. 2 of Wands, expansion time. 6 of Pentacles coming out at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Wow. And the card that just slipped out, you want to know? I bet you do. The card that just slipped out is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. She's the card that fell out at the bottom. So the first card down that we got when we asked for more was the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands followed the 6 of Pentacles. Now, those of you are like, okay, I don't speak tarot, girl. Break this down for me. What this is saying is that it's time for you to expand with your plan. You've already done 1 chapter. And I do feel like for many of you, this is not about reopening the old career, the same career, going back to the same employer, the same role, the same job. You're right. I should go back to work. Is that what we're saying here? The enhancements that are happening to you is you're ready. And I do feel like it's going to be a natural process, because like I said, the fire is already there for you. You just have to take step 1. You just have to rev the engine. And what will start to happen for you are, you're going to see that there is a great need. Right now, you can't see it because you've kind of hermited yourself off. And if it's not hermiting, you've kind of closed yourself from that part of the world, that part of that career. You've closed yourself off from, like, excuse me, I have a lot of like burps, and so my throat, again, throat chakra, but you've closed yourself off from whatever that part of the world was. So that way you can focus on this, which was familyhood, or following my partner's career. So that way they can, those things. Okay. Sacrifices, we call them. But now you're ready to come back. And I do feel that for many of you, while you might want to re-enter that arena, re-enter that field as the gladiator, you are also being called to do something bigger. And you know what this is. You have more knowledge now. And it's also more wisdom. And it's not just of the world, it's also of yourself. They say when women, and women say this when after they have children, that we feel so much stronger. Like it changes who we are psychologically, obviously, physically, biologically, but our brains change, our hormone production levels change, and all of those secretions of hormones throughout our nervous system and lymphatic system and just our entire endocrine system, it changes the psychology of the woman and who she actually now is. And whether that is symbolic for those of you who are more masculine energy, there's something that happened to you where now you are different. You've changed. And those changes have to be honored. And this is not a have to as in I'm forcing you to, but I feel like your soul will say that in order for alignment to really work out here, in order for these enhancements, these grand enhancements to happen to your life, we have to do what feels aligned within. And that is reaching a little bit further, expanding a little bit farther, and climbing a little bit higher. There is great wealth accessible to you again. Some of you already have the contacts, the network, the career. All I have to do is send an email and I know I can get a job back there. Like things like that. So even if I'm hearing starts there, that's not where it's ending for you. Your destiny is calling you, number one. Wow. Your destiny has arrived. The enhancement, I finally got it. Did I tell you I'm a slow burn kind of reader? But the mega grand enhancement that I feel like is happening for you, number one, is you've always been on the path of destiny, let's be clear. But you are actually moving on your path of destiny while knowing that you're on it. You're like, nah, I know that I'm on my path of destiny. Like, I know this is where I'm supposed to be doing. And it's going to feel so good to actively co-create with your soul, with the universe, and with Supreme Source as you move through every day. It's going to be reinvigorating. If you have been feeling like something is a dud, the spark has gone out in your life, you will be reinvigorated. And it will happen primarily once you start to shift the routine that you have on rotation by first shifting the dialogue in your mind and going back to that homework assignment that I mentioned to you earlier, which are ways that you can practice expression. And this is inner expression. What is in there? What do we need to extract? Educare. What do we need to pull from within you out into the world? And I do feel that is housed for you, for many of you, in your throat chakra, and doing throat chakra exercises will help. So final messages here. And this is from your angels, guardians, and guides. We have don't lose faith. All right. I like that for you. Don't lose faith. We also have Lilith, shadow work. That's what we were talking about with that extracting. What is that message that's in there? What's in that belly? What's in that fire, in that furnace? Let's pull it out. It's going to require some shadow work. And those of you that resonate with the goddess Lilith, she says hello. Ooh, I just got chills there. Someone has a very powerful altar to Lilith and you're very connected to her. Ashe. Study, read, and research more. You have black hair, whoever that is. I see you. Study, read, and research more. Very dark black hair. Study, read, and research more. Yes, times have changed. Yes, technology is moving fast. Yes, industries are upgrading because technology is feeding the industries, which means that the industries have to upgrade. Whether you're in education, you're in medical, you're in finance, you're in real estate, everything is changing. So we are in the age of Aquarius. You're also in the original time of recording. This is Aquarius season, but this is a timeless message, by the way. So nonetheless, we are in the age of Aquarius, and there's a lot of alignments that are happening cosmically that are requiring us to align with those frequencies and with those vibrations in order for us to feel ease on this planet. So for example, if you go to the tropics on this earth and you go by the equator near somewhere tropical, let's say Ecuador, equator, you're going to adjust your wardrobe. You're going to wear clothes that accommodate you under the heat of the sun. But then if you go to, let's say, Labrador, Canada, and you're up in that Arctic area, you're going to definitely adjust how you dress. So this is a cosmic adjustment. We were vibrating at one point on an earth chakra level. Okay, the earth chakra and also the earth's chakra itself, because the earth is its own entity. So we were vibrating at a frequency for a long time. And there's a shift that has happened, and I know you can feel it. And that shift is requiring many of you who are ancient and dormant, soldiers, warriors, queens, kings, leaders, rulers, pick a fancy word, it doesn't matter, It's time to wake up and recall. Remember who you are. Do research. Read and study more. Break outside of the molds of old doctrines that have been force-fed into you through syringes. Again, being dramatic with my symbology, but that's who I is. It is time for you to step outside of a lot of bubbles. And that is another grand enhancement that's happening to your life. Awakening. Your mind is expanding and awakening because you're not afraid anymore to learn the technology, learn the new frameworks or systems. You're ready to get your hands dirty again. And your last message here from your angels is you may need, it doesn't say may, I'm adding that. It says you need a spiritual bath or shower. Okay. Let that resonate for those of you. And if you have questions on what a spiritual bath or shower is, why don't you leave it in my comments? I'd be happy to give you guys some insight on how to conduct one on my second YouTube channel, which is Priestess Ishtah Heals. Everything is in the description to expand your work with me and to also learn how to become more sacredly attuned in your life. This is not a dependency on tarot cards and divination. This is about developing discernment that is divine within yourself so that you are grounded and rooted and aligned. Number one, it has been a pleasure hosting your energy here because honey, boo boo child, I know we're about to get them creative works. You are a sorcerer and a sorceress with things in the making. Trust the process. All right. Vroom, vroom. I'll see you at the finish line. Bye, number one. Hello, and welcome. Number two, Firehorse. Number two, I hope you are doing well. Let's get your candle lit as we get you settled in, join around, sit down, or stand up, do what you like, but treat this like a podcast. I am Priestess Ishtah, and today we are going to be opening the messages regarding grand enhancements happening in your life. Your grand chariot arrives. It awaits you outside. There are some amazing enhancements that are happening right now, and this is a timeless message. But during the time of recording, we are in a grand Aquarian portal. So we have a lot of new age energy that is pulling through. And I wanted to really go into this reading and open this space to be an opportunity for many of us to really see how is our life about to enhance. And these enhancements will be starting for you this year. So I want to call on your angels, your ancestors, your guardians and guides to please step forth, protect the circle so that only messages rooted in divine love, wisdom, and truth are allowed through Ashe. All right. All right. Number two, I encourage always to take notes because this is a way for you to really allow this energy to enhance and develop and to lock it in. It's not just for entertainment purposes only, although it is, and you are responsible for all of your own choices. But I really create this content so that we can all begin to elevate and activate and attune into our ancient, latent abilities. Okay, so I said latent, but it makes me feel like somebody is practicing Latin or learning Latin or interested in Latin culture or Latin-based mythology, how it has derived. You might be studying text or literature that is Latin-based. You might have to learn some type of alma mater, or there is something that you may have to learn, like that's a pledge in Latin. So this also makes me feel about initiation. Many of you are initiating. Even looking at the Firehorse that you selected, it is crystallized. It is like crystallized. I couldn't even begin. Is it emerald? Is it fire? So you have literally a crystal horse. You're the only one who has a horse that's really not even made of, looks like regular horse material. So this gives the indication, or it kind of gives the impression, I should say, to me that there is something different that you are doing, and it is in relation to more of the mystical, magical, spiritual, or religious world. I do feel that many of you are initiating into something, and it does have much to do with the sacred order that you have been ascribing to, whether that means getting closer to one and further away from another, or blending theologies, blending ideologies, blending practices, and creating new pathways and frameworks for a greater collective, moving from solo practice into group, or moving from group into expanded group, masses. Those of you who might be on a pastoral, reverend, preacher type of tract. And what is a life coach or a motivational life speaker but a preacher in a different dimension? Because in order to motivate people at that degree, you have to be very convincing with your words. So many of you are using how you speak, your speech, your gift of encouragement. Many of you are natural motivators, number 2. You're natural encouragers, and you're using that gift and that ability to now expand it and share it with the world. So this is why I say initiation, whether this is a self-initiation, whether you're being initiated into the Rosicrucian order, whether you're being initiated into an underground society. I don't limit who my readings reach. You might be a very high-ranking warlock, witch, sorcerer, or celebrity who is deciding now, all right, how do I move to the next tier? This is the year of your initiation. This feels very dark, but not in a bad way. Not like, oh my God, this is bad, this is fearful. It feels like you're tapping into the shadow. You're tapping into like your dark horse. You're tapping into the force of the shadow to alchemize it to light. You're tapping into understanding parts of mysticism and parts of magic that, and spiritualism, exotericism, like all of the hermeticism, all of the hidden arts that are not popularized. So even if you're studying Christianity, you're studying Gnostic as well. And I'm not trying to tell you what you're studying, but I do feel that your nature is becoming more dualistic, because you are understanding that being one way is not the balanced way. There is duality in all things, and the key is to balance that duality. And as I split the deck, I literally have the High Priestess in my hand. So I'm going to be pulling some divination tools. This is an oracle deck. It's a very powerful one. It has a lot of goddesses in it, not personal, but not a personally made one, I should say. But I love working with it. I do also have a tarot deck as a divination tool, and my personalized shadow deck that gives a lot of messages from what our subconscious mind is saying. So when you hear me use shadow, and I don't feel like I need to explain this to you, number 2, because I feel like you're very comfortable in the shadow. But those of you who are still initiating and adjusting, shadow just means hidden, the unseen, the subconscious. All right. You don't see your brain, but are you afraid of your brain? No. You don't see your heart, but are you afraid of your heart? No. Okay. So approach it that way. All right. Let's get some cards down for number 2. What are the open messages regarding their grand enhancements beginning this year in their life? To their guardians, angels, and guides. Some of you have fallen angels, and as I'm saying that, I'm being shown a card of a fallen Pleiadian star seed. So you may have, okay, hold on. This feels like a very we're going to be going up into the celestials in this reading. So hang on tight, ladies and gentlemen, because we are going to be divining. Wow, I just saw a very powerful card, and this one wants to come out. I'm going to honor it. Whew, number 2. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? You got me moving in my seat like I need to sit up because I'm in front of fellow royalty. Notice I said fellow. So what I'm noticing off the bat, number 2. All right. So first we have down, let's just talk about the cards that we have down. We have the star card, literally the star card, and it is the Pleiadian star goddess. All right. So this does give me vibes that you are part of the fallen angels. You might be a fallen angel, or you might be one of the offspring of the fallen angels. Okay? You are somehow tied to the light frequency of the fallen stars. The fallen light that have come to this planet to reseed a new conscious intelligence that will usher humanity in a forward moving direction that moves more away from destruction. Some of you have a very fiery force. You may have had to deal with your temper, and you might be still dealing with it in a lot of instances, but it's because of your passionate nature being ill-expressed. So it may benefit you to learn how to balance your fire. This feels a lot like solar plexus as well as heart chakra. So I'd like to impart or invite you to challenge yourself to some homework, number 2. We're getting some homework assignments down early in the game. All right. So those of you who are serious about this attuning work that we do here, write this down. Number 2, your homework assignment is to research methods that supports a balanced solar plexus and heart chakra. Again, research methods and find which methods are most compatible with you. That will help you to balance the presence of the energy that is trapped, and I'm channeling a little bit right now, but just balance the energy of the solar plexus chakra as well as the energy in the heart chakra. You can choose to balance the two together, but I do feel that there is an encouragement for you to work at the solar plexus chakra first and then move to the heart chakra. Unplug some energy, clear up the energy that's in the solar plexus first. And this comes from past lifetimes of fighting the good fight. This passion comes from past lifetimes of being teachers, being speakers, being philosophers, being new age thinkers, for lack of a better expression, being freedom fighters. And some of you even slain and cut down because of your commitment to your path. So you also have the Fool card down here, which is under the goddess Uzume. Uzume, if my memory serves me correct, she is a Shinto goddess. She's a goddess of Japan. She's the goddess of the dawn, of merriment, of the arts, of dance, of liberation, of moving from the darkness into the light. She is said to be the goddess that was able to do a dance so well that she influenced the sun goddess Amaterasu out of her hiding, out of her cave, to bring back light into the world. How does that mirror what you have been through right now? Have you been hiding light? Have you been wanting to be a messenger of a path? Or a learner, a student, a seeker of a path? There is something about you moving from a traumatic experience that caused you to, let's say, whether oppress, repress, or shut down a part of you that really desired to go deeper, to go further. And for many of you, this does feel like your spiritual relationship with Source, with the universe, with the cosmos. I feel that this is a time for you to really be wild and set free. And I dare say this with great caution, because there are a lot of us who will get carried away with this name that I'm going to mention, but I by no means am I afraid to say it, because I feel that this person who I'm going to say has been one of the most influential teachers, especially when it comes to occultism. And I will say that his story is often misrepresented, because in the end of his lifetime, he had nothing. He had lost everything. And he had wrote a lot of memoirs or made a lot of statements stating how much he was wrong and how important it was to love and how important it was to share goodness and to be in that essence of purity from the heart, not because it's scripted or crafted or I'm going to get something out of it, but because it was truly from the pureness of your soul to love another. And he learned this the very hard and long way. But many of you, when I say this name, you're going to be like, really? Reese, do your research. Maybe that can be your homework assignment number 2. But the name that I'm talking about is Mr. Aleister Crowley. Yeah. Mr. Aleister Crowley. He is coming to mind for many of you. You may want to research some of his work. The Book of the Law is a very complex book, but you might be at that point where you're able to understand what he truly means behind do as thou wilt. And that is the whole of the law. If you're interested in learning about the deeper meaning and what he meant with this, let me know in the comments. And on my second channel, yes, I do have one. Check me out. In the description, it is Priestess Ishtah Heals. We're not done with your reading here because we're going to go way deeper, number 2. But that will give me some feedback to know what it is that you'd like to learn a little bit more about, because on my second channel, we do a little bit more of the research, teaching, and sacred attuning. Okay. So number 2, the third card that you got that I felt was like so powerful. Whenever I see this, I'm like, oh, shucks. That's why I said fellow royalty. But that's all I can say there on that. And that is the Council of 9. This is, wow, you have a lot of homework, because a lot of your initiation is remembering who you are. Many of you this year, you're learning your own cosmology. You are stepping away from idolizing worship of deities, externalizing worship, and giving your worship to invisible, archonic, vampiric forces. Number 2, you will understand what I'm saying. Go on your journey and listen to this reading, save this reading, and read it, listen to it back. It might take a few months, but I promise you it will hit a lot different if it's not really resonating the words that I'm saying. You are a descendant. You are doing works. You are doing great works. They are telling me to correct myself. You are doing great works in connection to the Council of 9. What is the Council of 9? That is another assignment for you. I cannot say it here. But the council, let me listen. They want you to do your own research, because there is coding that will wake up within you once you do that on your own. The Council of 9 is a very high-ranking celestial force. Let's just put it like that. They are in charge of a lot of what happens here. And a lot of psychics are able to, when I say psychics, I should say channelers, or mediums are what they more formally call themselves in a professional capacity. Mediums that are hired by governments all over the world. Mediums that have been hired by regiments from the Nazi Party on down to, the Christian Crusaders. Mediums have worked in all capacities in all parts of history for as long as man has existed. So we're not going to shun the opportunity at you potentially being a medium at that altitude if you were to align with this energy and were to pursue this initiation process. But you do have the makings, I should say, of being a great medium on this planet. And the Council of 9 is coming through in your reading, and I'm sorry if I'm speaking like an alien and choppy. It's just that this message is a little harder to get because we're going at a bit of a higher frequency for me. So not really for me, but a bit of a higher frequency. So after this reading, make sure you, number 2, are drinking water, and you might want to take a nap to recharge. It's just because of the vibration that we have to go to in order to get this message. But yes, you are on a spiritual mission here. If you feel like, okay, there's something that I have to do here, like you love humans. Like I really, and I don't mean to feed anyone's psychological delusions. Okay. We have to be very careful when we talk about these spiritual things because we are speaking about things that we cannot confirm. So it can feel like, all right, this person is delusional or having hallucinations. However, I am being guided in a spiritual, truly healthy spiritual sense that many of you are here because you're like a spiritual maven. You are supposed to put forth, you're here to institute a work, like you're here to complete a work order. And I don't mean to make it sound like that. So, but you love humans. That's what I was going to say. Many of you are not even human. Or if you are human, you have at some point had like a walk-in spirit, maybe a spirit guide that works so close to you that your spirit kind of annexed to it, like Avatar style. Many of you are not, again, like you are ancient sleeping vessels that are projecting your consciousness into this avatar here. That's what the fallen star is coming from. So because of that, you are here to complete a work order, and a work order is not done in one lifetime. It takes lifetimes to complete it because it takes centuries for change to occur. So you, in the sense, number 2, are here to complete the work order that is going to shift humanity, per what the Council of 9 has asked you to do. I do feel like captain, so you might identify with that word captain, or it does feel like you have a captain-like title if we're going into this in a galactic approach. All right. I'll get a little bit more if I'm missing anything. What am I missing for number 2? Okay. And may I have one more here? So we're shifting to tarot, and you've got some very interesting cards here. On the first card down with the tarot we have is the 9 of Pentacles. A lot of reversal cards. Okay. So reversal in this reading, really every card you've had so far has been in a reverse position. So it does feel like for me when I'm seeing that this energy is yet to approach. I feel like this energy is a bit stagnant for you, like, or perhaps it has already come in for you. Yeah, this energy has yet to approach. It's coming in. It hasn't come in yet. It has yet to approach you. Like you're going to start to have a lot of actualizations and a lot of realizations, and really, like you might be someone who is not, if you're not into spirituality at all, like in 3 or 4 months from now, you might go through this like obsessive overload in a healthy way. I don't want to use the word obsessive to institute unhealthy thought patterns for you. I block that from your path, to be honest. But just falling so deep into this art of understanding what and who and why and nature and herbs and animals and spirit and angels and the dead and the alive, and there's so many layers of this, it's impossible to learn it in one lifetime. But all that this is connected to is, again, the work order that you are going to soon be fulfilling through. It has to be fulfilled through yourself, building the knowledge, building the confidence, but then sharing this out in the world. So the first tarot card that you had down was the 9 of Pentacles. Then you had the 5 of Swords. And then we had the 9 of Wands. So this does immediately give me the impression that you're at the end of a cycle, or the end of the cycle that you have been in is over. And a lot of this cycle might just be deciding, what do I do next? Like, where do I go next? What do I do? I've finished this chapter already. I've already done, the Christian thing. I've done Jehovah Witness, or I've been a pagan, or I've already did devout Islam, whether it's Sunni or Shiite. We never know who this message reaches. I've done the Rastafarian thing. I've done the Buddhist thing. I've like whatever it is. I feel that you are at a point where you're ready to shift. You're ready to shift, and you just don't know what or where that shift is going to bring. I feel that if you felt like you've moved away from God, moved away from source, moved away from inner being, or moved away from just being in connection with your holy guardian angel, I do feel that you are going to be receiving closeness with, and I know this is going to sound like a long time, but it's not really long when you think about the grand scheme of the universe. But within 10 months, you're going to be fully connected with your spiritual practice, whether that's a church or it's your at-home altar space or your prayer room, your meditation game is on lock. There's something that is going to just click, and it's going to bring you so much closer to your family. Like there's byproduct results of this. Byproduct results is you're closer to your family. You might even start a family. You might move back with your family or move a family member in particular. I'm seeing an elderly family member. And I'm also seeing just overall you operating a business. You might choose to operate and open your own healing practice. And this doesn't have to look like a traditional thing, or it could be traditional. This is, again, what you want to do. So I do feel that there is a healing practice that is coming through for you. And you will have more insight on what you want to do with that by the end of this year. So within, a 10 to 12 month span. Now I say that so that you don't fret. Allow the momentum to build, the clarity that you need to say, oh, this is my lane. This is my niche. Don't move fast just to get something out there, because you may not move authentically. And once you create something or create a platform, you have to stand on that. And when I say stand on that, I don't mean like you got to stand on business. I mean, you do, but you got to stand on that platform because that's the foundation of what you're building. So you don't want to get caught into a cycle of something that doesn't truly resonate with you, especially if you're moving into helping others. Like, you want to authentically help them. Otherwise, what's the point? So I did pull some shadow cards, and some of the closing messages that we have here for you is do your best and forget the rest. There's no comparison. There's no race. You cannot measure your success by the use of somebody else's tape measure. You got to use your own. The next message that you had, this was actually the first one that came down, and that is plan, prep, and get ready. Yeah, that definitely aligns with that initiatory energy I've been feeling for you. You are entering a sense or a point in your life where you are initiating. Wow. The next one down, check this out. It says, and this is all from my shadow deck that I will soon be releasing. So once I do, I'll be sure to announce it. But it says, in divine timing, the truth will be revealed. I feel many of you have been questioning the cosmos, questioning the world, questioning what is next. So the truth is coming. The next card I have is walk away. Walk away. I want you to feel that and apply that in to where in your life you might feel it is time for you to walk away. Oh, here we go. We got two more. The next one, this is straightforward, y'all. And that is number 2, drink more water. That's going to help with revelations to be revealed. Drinking more water. And it's also just good for the body, right? Tempering your mind and your spirit, your energy, so you can clearly process. And last but certainly not least, I actually saved this one for last. I think that it's a very special message because we are talking about fallen angels, and this says Michael's protection. And I'm going to reveal a secret to you that many don't know about Michael, and it's an esoteric secret, Archangel Michael. Every angel has archangel and angel. Everything that exists really in this universe has a dualistic nature. You cannot escape duality. And the dual nature of Archangel Michael or Michael, just think about what he is stabbing when Michael is standing over this serpent. He is stabbing Satan. And the true esoteric meaning of that picture is overcoming the inner demons, overcoming battles, using the force of Uzume to pull into the light what is hiding in the dark. So while you might be fearful, or you might be going down a path that you're not fearful enough, I want to do two things. A, encourage you to explore this world of magic and spirituality. But more importantly, I want to encourage you to explore it with respect, and honestly with great respect and honorance, because things can happen all the time, but you are protected. Keep your nature balanced between the light and the dark. And somewhere in between that, number two, I really feel that you are going to find this inner truth that is ready to be shared with the rest of us. And I hope that I am somewhere connected to you, number two, so that I can be a part of that revealing. I want to be one of those people that sees what number two brought through into the world, because I'm going to remember this initiation for you. So until next time, again, I'm Priestess Ishtah. Don't forget to check back and let me know what you thought. Bye. Number three. Welcome, number three. I am Priestess Ishtah, and you, my friends, are in the right place. If you picked Firehorse number three, we are about to pull up your golden chariot, because it arrives. It's awaiting for you outside. And really, we're just going to be tapping into any open messages regarding grand enhancements that you can expect to start seeing in your life this year. Like, why wait? Every pile so far, piles 1 and 2, were highly dynamic. So number 3 never fails to surprise. Let's see what's coming through. I do want to say that we're going to do this in a podcast style. So sit back, relax, play me in the background. I do encourage you to take notes. That is really how you can attune with this message, allowing the sacredness of your energy to really take this as something that you can cultivate in your life positively. Okay. So I would also like for you to just listen to some of the homework prompts and feel encouraged to participate. It's not required. So first thing I'm noticing for you, number 3, is that you are the only one who has a horse that is facing us. Yeah, you have the horse, and like, this horse is bucky. Like, you see it? This is the dark stallion. This is the dark horse, literally. This is the one I feel like if we were at a rodeo and we were at the stables and they're like, not that one. He's not ready yet. She's not ready yet. She don't like being ridden. She don't like a saddle on her. She's not that one. Okay, this is the one that you pay big money to see, the clown ride at the rodeos. And I've never been to a rodeo. It's actually something I got to put down on my list. Go to a rodeo. Note to self, but I do feel like this is depicting something that you are facing head on, that you are confident in about facing it, confident in about doing it, confident in pursuing it. This feels very confident. It feels very unique, as if you know what you bring to the table and you're no longer going to, notice I'm saying no longer. So perhaps in the past, this was not your approach. This was not your angle in life. Maybe in the past you were more possessive, or maybe, passive. Possessive perhaps too, but this could also be that your nature has always been very dominant, but this is the year that you're going after that big goal. This is the year that you're going to actually move. This is the year that you actually become a millionaire, a multimillionaire, a centimillionaire, a billionaire, if you're already those things. So it does feel like this is it. Wasn't that a movie, right? A few times, or a song at least. This is it. This is what this feels like. So what I'd like to do is use some divination tools. We have an oracle deck down. We have a tarot deck. And I also have my shadow deck out. And I want to see what are these messages, how they are coming through these actual divination tools. So let's see. The first thing, or I should say the first card that we have down, your skin is doing better this year. you've been having issues with your skin and keeping it cleansed, it's actually doing better this year. That's another thing that I'm immediately hearing for you. Okay, for number 3. Wow. And one more card for number 3, please. Thank you. Yeah, I felt it. Wow. I knew it. Like, okay, I don't want to jump to conclusions because I don't want to say this is about love. And then someone's like, oh God, I'm so tired of hearing. Because sometimes that be me. Like, I just be going for a reading for a message and it'd be like, love, 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 love. And I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. But no, hear me out. This may not be just like a love. All right. It feels like love, but it does feel like self-love. It also feels like you have like not been that in a lovey-dovey mood lately about life, even maybe with your personal, like current partnership or something like that. And that's changing. So let's just hear out the message and see. So the first card that we had down is High Priestess. I really like this card opening up your reading. With this High Priestess card, it is Isis and on the card, and it's actually one of the only times I've seen Isis as a very dark skinned black woman. And all of these cards I'm noticing here have females featured on here who are more tan skin, and I do have a fair skinned female, and I only say that to say it's making me feel that there is some type of glow, and it doesn't matter what hue your color is, and if you're a female or male, I'm not here to really pin that. I'm here to say that there's something very beautiful that's radiating off of you that feels very golden. It feels very bronze. It feels very inviting. It feels very warm. Bronze like the sun, or I'm seeing like a beautiful, this is a weird depiction, but like a beautiful desert. I don't know if anyone else finds a desert to be as beautiful as me, but there's something very pure about how you are looking. Yeah, but I do feel that with this High Priestess card, you're ready to take flight in something. Is there like a beauty company, or are you looking to pursue modeling? There's something that you're looking to create. I feel like you've already been creating it for some time. I feel like you've had this idea for a long time, and you've poured your heart into this. You've poured a lot of energy into this. You've poured a lot of resources into this. You've poured a lot of love. Maybe that's the love part I'm feeling. You've poured a lot of love into this, a lot of months, a lot of ideas and creative input has gone into this personal piece, this masterpiece. You have a masterpiece that you're actually sitting on and you've been sitting on it for a while. Number 3, this is something that you have divinely channeled. You know, they say that when Michelangelo went into, did y'all know that he used to go into caves and come out just painting these weird images that he would just get in his mind, because entities would speak to him, beings would channel messages to him. My candle is starting to crackle as I say that. And he would come out drawing these, and we don't really promote those images, but you can look it up, and one of them even looks like the shape of like an alienoid being. So I say all that to say that you have channeled, and maybe not in that kind of like eerie sense, but in the sense where you have channeled something into this planet already. And I feel like each pile has a similar theme, but this one is, you've already kind of done the work. You've already put the blueprint together. You've already put the plan together. You already have the vision. You also, that's what it is. It's time for you to get the confidence to do it. You stopped. Why did you stop? What halted you? Did you think it wasn't good enough? Do you think you're not good enough? You're not good looking enough? You're not pretty enough? You're not the face that this type, maybe you feel like, well, I'm not the type of person that should be, people aren't going to want to see me. I'm overweight. I'm too dark. My hair is too short. Man, I look bloated. I got a big nose. I don't think people want to see me. Like, what are you telling yourself that's stopping you from launch? Seriously. That's a homework assignment for you, number 3. What, and this is just a journal prompt for you to sit and ponder on. And I really encourage you to write out your feelings, even if you put it on notes in the phone or a text message that you send to yourself and then later delete. But what parts of you are stopping you from your masterpiece's release? What parts of you, number 3, are stopping you from the release of this masterpiece? You're an artist. You're a natural Venusian. You naturally see beauty in things. You naturally craft shit. Like, you really about that. Like, you really, really, really design. Like, you really, really, really do art. Like, some people do art, but they don't do that shit like you do. Not how you do, though. You're really about this. And it's kind of making me mad. Because you got mad gifts to give out to this world. But you in your head because of some shit somebody told you back in the day. You got bullies on replay. And I don't care if that bully was your mama. This is the year we override that trauma. This is the year we gain the confidence in self. This is the year we launch. This is the year you start to share your gifts. Your ancestors sent me, your angels sent me, your higher self sent me to remind you of that. Let's get more. We're going to shift and move into the tarot. Okay. Wow. 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 All I can say is wow. First card down we have is the Fool. The Fool card indicating this fresh reset, to be carefree, to not worry so much, to walk in faith, walk in the lightness of your own light. I'll run that back for those of you who ain't paying attention. Walk in the lightness of your own light. How you sustain others with your pure positive energy and kindness and vibes. Giving that back onto yourself. Being kind and encouraging and motivational and inspirational to yourself. Complimenting and being complimentative and being complimentary to yourself. This feels very dualistic. It feels very much like, how can I step outside myself within healthy psychological bounds and evaluate how I've been treating myself? Do I look nice? Do I put nice clothing on me to make myself feel elevated? Or is and this is not to say that vanity is, I don't mean to explain this to you, number 3, I think you get it. But vanity is important to a degree and to an extent. We don't worship vanity, but your appearance is a form of communication within your community and your societies, and that they're expanded outside of that. You know, when you can spot a bum versus a cop. You can spot somebody who might be a little bit loose versus someone who is more than likely, like if you look at a nun and a stripper, I'm pretty sure you could tell the difference, is what I'm saying. And that's not to say that strippers are loose sexually, but is to say that they are more comfortable in their sexual nature than a nun, right? But these are all assumptions. And I think that's what you are moving past. Number 3 are the assumptions that others have of you. Oh, she a fat girl. You know she want to eat. Come on, fat bitch. Let's go get some food. That. Oh, he a fat boy. That dope boy gonna want to eat. Those type of things, like people assume about you. Oh, she's stupid. He too dumb to figure that out. Even when people are playing around, that still reverberates in the subconscious mind. And a part of you may have clinged to it. Ashe. So it's time to liberate yourself and hit the reset button for you. Hit the reset button on your life, and not in a terminate self way. Hitting reset, symbolically saying, just changing up your approach, changing up how you treat yourself, and the boundaries that you institute to letting how others treat you. And perhaps number 3, this can be another great activity for you to look at as a homework assignment, to say, what are my current boundaries? And what boundaries do I need to fortify a more confident and healthy minded lifestyle? I also see here for you, you have down the Queen of Swords. You could not, and she slapped down on the table, mind you, number 3. You could not have a better expression of inner truth that's getting ready to come out. You are moving. I'll say I did feel going into your reading that this is a person who's a little bit more bossy and a little bit more icy. And I feel that you're learning to move a little bit more icy with people. Maybe a little spicy at times. Okay. But it's so that you can remain focused on launching or releasing this masterpiece. For some of you, it's a series of things. It's a multiple of things. It's like, no, I'm into pottery. I'm into ceramics, and I actually am ready to put this out. I write children's books. I write books for elderly people that helps them with dementia. There's something unique about you. I said that going into this. You're unique. This is a masterpiece. I'm bringing up names like Da Vinci. This is masterful work. This is your magnum opus. This is not something that you can afford to sit on any longer. And I don't think you will. I think you are getting, after this reading especially, you're getting it. You're realizing like, okay, yep. I am great. I am grand. I am special. I am wonderful. And I deserve to be here. I deserve for my gifts to be seen and not hide. Not, okay, I'm going to release something, but I don't want anyone, unless that's your thing. Like, that might be your thing. You know what I'm saying? The mystique of it all. Ghost writing, ghost whatevering. But really ask yourself why you're doing that. Is it so that way you can hide? Or is it really a very aligned business decision? Because maybe you have to do like an alias. Excuse me, I'm getting hiccups. But maybe you have to do an alias to protect your identity. Okay, everybody's different. But if that's not really the case, truly evaluate. This is a year of evaluation for you. You are evaluating how you have been treating yourself. And you are going to learn how to treat yourself more beautifully. That's that beauty and love that I was feeling going into your reading. And I do feel like as a result, it is going to affect your relationships. 1717, as I say that on the timer. So that how I read that is as 8. I read that as breaking cycles and also creating new ones and creating abundancy, because 8 is definitely the number of abundance. And like I've said, you've already created it's like 85% done. None of you listening still who pick number 3 have something where it's not 70, at least 70% done. Each of you have it at least 70% done. Whether mentally you already have, like, you just have to go through your notebooks. You got to get reorganized and restructured though. Yeah, I'm calling you out, bruh. That's why Queen of Swords is here. You might have an issue with like attention deficit. You may have to do a little bit more work. I do too. I ain't calling you out. You may have to do a little bit, because that's the artist. You got to be a little crazy and the genius. You got to go a little insane to bring down that into the world. Okay, all of the best artists are just a little kooky. Just a little bit. Okay. So I feel that you would benefit from learning how to manage your attention, manage your focus, learning what focus is, approaching focus as like a person that you have to learn. Like, what is focus like? And how does focus work? And am I compatible with focus? How can I become more compatible with focus? There are a lot of books, a lot of articles and documentaries on the mind and focus. Okay, this is the age of information. There is no reason why anybody can't do anything today. You don't get an excuse anymore. There's no more passes. So it is, wow. Be the fool. You are ready. This is coming out. You're ready. Number 3, you are ready. You're ready. Just get out your head. Get out your way. 70% done at least. If anyone who picked number 3 and you're still listening is not at least 70% done, please call me out and tell me how you're not 70% done. And I'm going to tell you how you are. Okay. You're 70%. That other 30% feels like inner work. It feels like planning. It feels like structuring. It feels like executing the vision cleanly. It feels like formatting. It feels like, I dare say the word marketing. But marketing is really just orienting. How are you orienting your launch? And I learned that from AI. Orienting, not marketing. It's all about word choice. So, friends, let's get some final messages. I'm pulling here from my shadow deck. It will be available for sale soon. I'll be sure to let you know when, and subscribe if you are interested in more readings like this. I also have a second channel. It's called Priestess Ishtah Heals. That is a wow, you got a really good card down here. I got to take that. That is a non-pick a card channel. It's where you will see more of me, actually visually see me. And we dive in deeper into the sacred attunement part, how we can activate our ancient and latent sacred abilities and align with it in a more natural way. We do a lot of learning there. So be sure to check me out. That link is in the description, as well as other important links to connect with me further. So a few more cards from the shadow deck, and then we're going to send you out. If it comes out. Okay. Anything else that you want me to share? Oh. I feel like there's one more. Is there anything else? All right. Okay. So, these are some closing messages. I want you to let these resonate how they do. The first one we have down is Uriel's light and guidance, or Uriel's light and guidance. Whenever I see that in a reading, and I've done many of them, it tends to mean that there's something with your career or your destiny or your fate with, not really fate, but there's something about your purpose, I'll say, your career purpose, your destined purpose that is going to be illuminated to you. And working with Archangel Uriel is really going to, and if you don't like the angelic forces, find the supplement. You can also research and find out, who is the demonic order for Archangel Uriel and other beings, if you prefer to stick within your cultural preferences or spiritual preferences. All are welcomed here because it's all just one anyway. However, Uriel's guiding light, you can expect to see that you're going to start to see a lot of signs and synchronicities. A lot of that will appear in numbers, for sure. And also the second card that you had down is ancestral strength. So you're also going to be seeing synchronicities from the ancestors in the form of dream work. So you'll see them in your dreams, and feathers and pennies. Okay. You'll see a lot of, especially white feathers, brown feathers, gray feathers, as well as pennies. Random pennies. You can collect those items and try to use like a plastic bag or a tissue if you're just picking stuff up outside, especially feathers. Disinfect them when you take them home, and then pray over these items before you put them on like an altar space, or follow your own intuitive guidance. I just would like to recommend hygiene. Like, just because we're dealing with spirituality don't mean we don't got to be clean. Okay. Don't be bringing no bird feather home and you did not wash it, and don't pick it up with your hand. Pick it up with something if you can. A tissue if you got dogs, like a dog poop bag or something like that, till you get home and you can properly disinfect. This requires your patience. So I feel as if this has been something that you were very patient with for so long. And while it might require a little bit more patience to launch, trust and believe in yourself. All right. The next card that you got down that I loved seeing, I'm like, oh yeah, this is them. Muse. You are a muse. Like, when I'm in your energy, number 3, like, you're so good with the art. You're like, I'm just in your vibe, and I'm like, I don't feel my pain that I have in life. I don't feel my worries and my stress. It's something about your vibe, your music, your poetry, your artistry. It's like, I don't care how you express your artistry. You might be like a computer coder. Yeah, okay. That's a vibe right there. Isn't vibe coding a thing? So there's something about your artistry, however your genius is expressed. My left ear is ringing. Ashe. It is so sweet. So sweet. So anytime you are stressed, your final message here says, give it to the Most High. Give it to the Most High. If you found yourself moving away from your relationship with Spirit, with God, with Source, with the universe, with your ancestors, with your angels, whoever you ascribe to, with nothing, shit, you got to rely on something out here. So reinforce that relationship with yourself at the very least. And that's why I felt like you're giving so much love and honorance and respect back to the way that you're treating yourself, from your inner to outward management systems, and also to how others are treating you too. Side note, I do feel that your emotional intelligence is boosting this year. Kudos. Not a lot of us get that gift to really foster stronger emotional intelligence skills. We tend to stay where we're at or decline because it's not a lot of good teachers out there, but looks like we have a muse in our midst. So what can we expect but to flood ourselves with that love energy that you so naturally embody? So be confident, number 3. You got to be confident at this point because we're waiting on you. We're trusting you. All right. All the best with this divine reset. And until next time, bye.